my darling viewers, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy, and this time I'm reviewing The Unexpected Consequences of Love by Jill Mansell. It's also been published under the title The Unpredictable Consequences of Love. This is British chick lit. As with much of Jill Mansell's work, this focuses on not just one couple, but like an entire community and several different couples, and I really love that about her work. And she also has several different like age groups involved, so it's not all just 20-somethings. So this particular book takes place in the city of St. Cary's, which is this coastal British town with a beach, and most of it takes place around this hotel that Josh and his grandmother Dot both part own. And I love this it's like a small town, but like blowing up with tourists during the summer. The main characters are Sophie, who is a photographer. She's totally awesome and my favorite character in this book. She's quick on her feet, but still funny. The first time we meet her, she's doing this photo shoot in the hotel, and she's got this one client who knows exactly what she wants and has nitpicked everything, and she just wants Sophie to take the pictures, like no artistic direction required. But that all falls apart when Dot's dog, Criff, barges into the place completely covered in mud and just covers all of the people in this photograph in mud. And it's really funny because his mother just wanted a good photograph of her family, and it wasn't working well. Like, the kids were not having fun, and all of a sudden the dog shows up and they're laughing and enjoying themselves, and it works out well, even though it seemed like a complete disaster at the moment. So I love Sophie's ability to like think well on her feet, but also work well with people and clients. Sophie, however, has been burned in the past and does not want a romantic relationship, which doesn't necessarily work out well for Josh, who, when he first meets Sophie, is completely taken in with her, totally got a crush on her, and wants to ask her out, but she just shoots him down immediately. And so for most of this book, Josh just keeps asking her out, and it's adorable. And they definitely have some chemistry in here, and I want them to get together, but the question is whether or not Sophie will let it happen. Josh is also returning to St. Cary's after being the band manager for this really huge pop band, and having like totally been living in LA and living that life of like a superstar, or superstar adjacent anyway. But he's coming back here to kind of help his grandmother out, but also get away from LA, like it became too much. Also in here we have Tula, who is Sophie's best friend, and the first time we meet her, she is slacking off work for the weekend. She's just come down to visit Sophie and the beach, and so the first time we meet her, she is calling off work, telling them that she's sick, and totally obviously faking it. And Josh sees her and immediately forms his opinion about her, about how she's gonna be, which is a bit sad because Tula totally has a crush on Josh when she first meets him, but it's a bit unrequited because of Josh's misconceptions. And it doesn't do well for her when she gets fired from her job and is found out for not actually being sick, and then trying to get a job at the hotel that she finds out Josh owns, and he's like, no. I feel kind of bad for Tula. Like, she tries really hard, but just everything seems to work out poorly for her. And then we have Riley, who is this total surfer playboy who just seems to slack off all day. Technically, he has a job helping his aunt, kind of just doing odd jobs. So it doesn't appear that he's very like motivated or hardworking, and he appears to just sort of be there to hang out and have fun, and loves the ladies. Which, I love Riley as a character, although I wouldn't necessarily let him get close to me. Like, I don't know that I would trust him, but reading him in a book is tons of fun. He's totally crushing on Tula, who thinks that he isn't worth it because he can't hold a steady job, and she has some reasons from her past with guys like that and doesn't want to get involved with them again. We also have the older cast of characters in this book, which is one of my favorite parts about Jill Mansell's writing, is having these multi-generations and having older characters who still can experience love and finding love for the first time. So we have Josh's grandmother, Dot, who owns part of the hotel. She's also Griff's owner, And she is this elderly lady who's totally stylish and sophisticated, and I love her. She's also one of these people who just gets human nature and sees what's going on around her, and I love her take on all these younger people running around and their romantic follies. And then she's divorced from Josh's grandfather, Lawrence, who left her for another woman. And so the two of them are actually friends, which is a great, I love that, like, twist of that. Like, she's not really angry anymore. Like, she still is and doesn't necessarily trust him all the way, but she also doesn't want to throw away the decades that they spent together. Like, he's still her best friend, and I love that about these two. And Lawrence is just this great grandfather character who's retired and just chilling, basically. And then we have Marguerite, who is Riley's aunt and the one that he works for, and she's a writer and just a total diva. Like, she loves the fame and her fans and being famous. And she's quite an amusing character. I love her. She's also looking for husband number 4 after she's had various disasters of relationships. So this book is mostly character driven as opposed to like plot driven. I love these relationships in here, not just the romantic ones, but also the relationships between friends and family, and kind of what life is really like, this mess of jumbled life happening. This is a really fun, light read. It would make an excellent beach read. Several of these scenes actually take place at the beach, which is fantastic, and digging it. Totally loving the summer vibe off of this. The relationships in here are pretty clean. There is references to characters having sex, but we don't actually ever see it. So if that's a thing that you're totally not cool with, that this is a clean romance. I gave it 4 stars. It was lots of fun. I don't know that I necessarily need to like go back and reread this one, although I do love reading Jill Mansell's novels, so I'm totally gonna read more of her stuff. There's also like this subplot going throughout here with people keeping secrets. Like, we don't know why Sophie is so against relationships at first. There's also kind of not fully explained at the beginning about why Dad and Lawrence broke up in the first place, or why Lawrence is now alone if he left off for somebody else. So there's still a little bit of mystery and intrigue in here. Mostly it's fun. I love these characters. They're engaging, and I love the quirky, zany things that they get up to. So I gave this book 4 stars. Totally fun. Basically, that's my word for this book, is that it's light and fun. And romantic and sweet. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, you should check out The Unexpected Consequences of Love by Jill Mansell. So, Kisant, I love you guys, and keep reading. Bye.